Okay, it is March. It is the LPO Mises Caucus meeting. Man, I'm so out of it. I can't remember what month it is. And yeah, the LPO is slowly rolling. And so this last month has reminded me of some of the best advice I was ever given in the Libertarian Party. And that advice that was given by a number of different people in Ohio was, whatever you do, avoid the state party in Ohio like the plague. It will kill you. It will burn you out. It is a dumpster fire. And this last month has reminded me of that and why I was told that so many different times to different people. And it's not even drama. Like, Pennsylvania is fun, right? Sure, everything was on fire and someone tried to beat up a guy in oxygen and all that stuff. And or like you get lawsuits, people thrown out of the party. But at least like that's something fun. In Ohio, it's just like our IT doesn't work. And you'd think that wouldn't be a problem, but all of our donations on the website have to be manually typed over into the CRM so we can tell who's actually a LPO member. So officially, none of you are members right now. Because if anyone started donating before, if you didn't donate at least $25 last April, you're currently not an LPO member. If you donated $25 before April, you're not, or after. But the donations are so out of date that only like that month is counting. I need to manually go in and add like 1,200 lines of data entry. But I lose permission to access the website every 24 hours. If any of you are in IT, you're probably going to start screaming right now because why would that even happen? And I don't know. And no one knows. And our IT people don't know. And everything's on fire.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Regarding IT? Why did that guy get fired?
Which one?
I heard
Guy Merrill.
I don't know the guy's name.
Yeah.
And this is hearsay, so I could be wrong, but I heard that we had an IT guy and that he got exiled from the party and that Nana threatened violence on him if he ever came back.
I don't know of Nana threatening violence on him. I do know he kept showing up to Delaware. Dustin was not happy with it. So that guy, there were a couple of charges on him, but the one that really skeeved people out, and like the final one that kind of kicked him out of the party, is he dressed up as a cop to get his way into a woman's room, to like essentially say, "Hey, I'm a cop. You have to let me in," and then raped her.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yes.
Okay, well, because all I got was, he has a criminal record, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like,
yes, that is impersonation as a cop to better rape someone.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Wait, who is that? Who are we talking about?
That was the IT guy that got kicked out of the party.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't remember his name right now. I don't want to say the wrong person's name because I don't want to say that. I don't want to associate the wrong person's name with this if I have the wrong person.
Yeah.
There's a couple of interesting characters in Ohio. He is the most interesting of the three that I can think of that are like the main. There are some interesting people that float around but never really go anywhere. Then there's interesting people that actually like get involved and do stuff. And he was one of the three that are in that sphere. So he was IT stuff for a bit. Jim was IT stuff and Patrick was IT stuff. And then in 2020, there was the takeover by the anti-drama, anti-caucus people with Jim and Patrick at the head as kind of like they're the people that actually get shit done and wanted stuff to start working again. So they became in charge, but it turns out if you're running all of the IT and like on the ground work and you're chair of the party, it's just too much work. And so Patrick had a new job come up and burnt out and then had to drop out. And now Jim is still chair of the party and the head admin over all the website stuff, but also has a brand new kid and a new job and so on and so on and so on. And if you're wondering why the Ohio tickets aren't up for the state convention, even though we've had the prices for a week now, that is because he has been battling WordPress. Because with IT, sometimes even if you do everything right, problems just happen. And that's been the past 2 months.
Quick piece of information for you. Speaking of CRM being one of those topics,
Yep.
CRM being a complete, well, it's just,
Cluster.
yeah, okay. I wanted to be polite, but just because of how bad it is, in Warren County, we're now setting up our own CRM. We're not waiting for the state. Someday when the state gets straightened out, we'll transfer data or something. But right now we're just setting up our own CRM.
Yeah.
We do not have the patience for what's happening.
No, that's fair. And other things I've done in the past. I mean, Franklin County, we have our own separate email list. And then we're actually looking at maybe setting up everything through Substack, just since it lets you send free emails. And if you're mostly doing a newsletter, it might make sense. Well, then we tell it to some people, they just like feel existential horror because it looks like an unprofessional blogging site rather than like professional, like about us, whatever kind of traditional web page. So I feel both sides. It was a tentative step. Not sure if we're going to stick with it or not. But yeah, the CRM stuff. So if anyone is interested, we are having the XCOM state XCOM meeting this Saturday, and afterwards we're going to be cleaning up the LPO office. I was planning to also finally get caught up on like the 200 backlog LPO membership cards. Did you guys know you get LPO membership cards? No, because none of you have ever seen one. I have one in my membership card binder. I do business card binders. I know some people don't, but I do.
It was funny just now to see everybody shake their heads in unison.
Yeah, I'm a gold member.
I got one like 2 years ago, but I haven't gotten one since.
Here we go. It's official, nice and printed and glossy. These exist.
That's better than the national ones.
Yep. Well, I have my. I think my national one's decent. But we have the printer and everything for it. It's just that the CRM is out of date, so we can't do it. And Patrick was going to get caught up on all this a few years ago, and then didn't end up doing it a year ago, and had everything ready. And then all the printed off cards and envelopes are still sitting in the office, ready to send.
I have another question.
Go for it.
I don't mean to keep getting you off of whatever you want to talk about today, but
Hey, it's fine. It's always derailed a little bit.
okay. I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. So the XCOM decides who the delegates are, right? No. Who decides who the delegates are?
There is a nice. There is a set structure in place. There are no decisions made. The XCOM confirms that the delegation chair followed the process correctly, but you're not allowed to make any decisions in terms of who is or isn't a delegate. It's here, let me pull up the bylaws. But what's going to happen is by rank order of priority, and then by how early you applied, you are given delegation spots. Here, let me see if I can share my screen, but only share what I want to share. Can you guys see this bylaw screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Every time I hit share screen, I'm just like a little worried, Okay, so what happens is people sign up to the list of saying, I want to be a delegate to the National Convention. And then we, starting from the top of the list, go down and fill it. So we have 38 spots. So there's one delegation chair, 2 people here, another like 2 people here, maybe one incumbent, another 5, another 10, so on. And whenever we hit 38, it stops. And if there are 2 people at the same level tied, then it's based on whoever submitted earlier. What this actually means in practice, I think we have like 57 applicants for 38 spots, and we also have 50 spots for alternates. And at least like 10-20% of people are just going to not be a no-show because, hey, I think I could go, but then tickets are too expensive, or weddings happening, or I'm no longer libertarian, whatever else happens. So at this point, if you signed up, you have a spot. If you sign up now, you still probably have a spot. Which I didn't do the phone calling. Like, that's the other states are having to do, is go through and actually call everyone on their list, and we didn't do it because I thought enough people were signing up, and it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I guess my question is, like, I went to the PA convention, and as long as you were a member in good standing after 180 days, you could vote for whatever you wanted during convention. But in our bylaws, I don't think that's the same.
You're talking about state convention now or national convention?
State.
Okay, so that was for national convention. So national convention, that's it. I don't think there's any other restriction. I think that I don't know if voting in another party's primary, I believe that voting in another party's primary will lose you eligibility to be a delegate to either convention. I'm not 100% sure. I need to check. For the state convention, it is so loose. I don't even know how it works. Like, it's normal for someone to show up and just see this delegate that day.
Well, it's just because I was trying to read through the bylaws, and it seemed like our voting system was weird. Like, the delegates decide the central committee, and the central committee decides the exom committee, and
Yes.
the exom committee decides who the delegates are. It's like this revolving door sort of
So-
situation.
So our state convention determines bylaws and constitutional amendments, and that's it.
Yeah, but who gets to vote on that?
That's the state convention. Whoever shows up as delegate to state convention. And the state convention delegates are selected by the county affiliates. Yes, all the counties have been well informed about the proper procedures for this. I said nothing's been sent out. Don't worry about it. Like I said, everything's on fire at the state. Don't look behind the curtain.
Just next month, right?
I guess like I just feel like if you've been paying dues to the state, you should be able to vote on things at state convention. Like,
it would be almost impossible for you to not be a delegate if you are not obviously disqualifying yourself somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early and absentee voting in Ohio starts the beginning of April for the primary. If you need to change your affiliation, just so everyone knows, because I have to do that.
Yeah, the big tip is pull a if you've voted in a primary before, but just go pull it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the only thing is this law. Don't vote in a different party's primary, because I think that may stop you from voting in our convention. Even that not, I'm pretty sure that's the case.
I think it is.
The email.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's the case.
Yeah.
I got an email from
I've never
Helen.
voted before.
Yeah, then you're good. But so for state convention, up to 500 additional delegates, and considering we normally get 60 total, anyone who shows up who is an Ohio resident with the correct voting record can become a delegate. We actually do not have a requirement for you to donate any money to the party or anything, which will probably be changing this convention.
The delegate for the national convention from Helen said that you had to be in the LP or unaffiliated.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I know that's what Helen says. I'm not 100% sure that is actually the case, But I
Okay.
think, I know for some things it is the case. I'm not sure for delegate status when it is and isn't the case. Just don't vote for R's or D's in the primary, or pull a nonpartisan unaffiliated ballot to vote against every tax levy.
Yeah, I have to clear an affiliation. So what you talked about, there's no web form or for registration for the state convention. Is there one for the national? If we're
Yes.
starting to book travel and stuff.
Yes, so that's what we're going through today.
Okay.
Although I want to make sure I finish Kennedy's question. So delegates are selected by the counties to go to state convention, or they just show up and you're just given a delegate spot because there's so many spots that you're never going to fill them. That the state convention votes on bylaws, constitutional amendments, and that's it. Over here, we have primaries for each congressional district to determine central committee. So that means on what day is it going to be? On Tuesday, May 3rd, I will be sitting in the LPO office from like 3 p.m. till 10 p.m. And anyone who shows up will get to vote, and they will determine who the CENTCOM members of District 3 are.
Mhm.
CENTCOM then elects XCOM. And that'll be next year. So every other year, it's CENTCOM elected, the next com, then CENTCOM, the next com. And CENTCOM can also change bylaws between conventions, which is something that should probably be changed, but got into this too late to actually suggest all the changes that we're eventually going to want to the state bylaws and constitution.
And our bylaws seem to be super focused around what is it called? They like always reference something that goes along. What is it? What am I thinking of?
Some state legal code or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like,
someone
and
decided
everything-
that our bylaws should meet the legal standard for a major party in Ohio.
So the Republicans and Democrats do the same thing.
Yes. So I know people have actually been looking into taking over the Ohio GOP convention, like a GOP party officially. Because if you take over the convention and you are all the state chairs and stuff, you can ask the GOP officially unendorsed DeWine and whatever else, or not give money to his campaign and stuff. So like that is a thing that I know people that like, if you want to take over your county GOP, it's not crazy hard. It's just they have no pull and no power and they can't do anything. Taking over the actual state one is a lot harder, but it would be the same process of take over enough counties and then start the counties send delegates to the state, and then the state would, et cetera, et cetera. It's a process.
Yeah.
Yes.
It seems hard to like change the bylaws because it's all written around this Ohio code of.
So the best way to change the bylaws is to put in suggestions with the Constitution and Bylaws Platform Committee. They essentially go through as a team, write up a bunch of potential changes, and those are suggested at convention, and those are going to get usually passed through and kind of streamlined through. You can like suggest stuff outside of that, but it's a lot harder to get it through. And we were figuring stuff out back then. So there's a couple members. One of the Derek's, there's so many Derek's, I don't remember which one's on it. Some other people are on it. So some good stuff if I remember correctly, we're going to be in support of everything they're suggesting. They're doing some reforms to Central Committee. They're going to make it so you actually do have to pay to like be a dues paying member in order to vote at the state convention and a couple other things. But I'm not on the ball with that because I've been trying to figure out the finance division stuff. yes, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of moving balls. For a general member, all you need to remember is go to state convention. You will be able to get in just fine and become a delegate. If you can make national, great. Even if you sign up now, you can still become a delegate because we have enough spots and not enough people applying. And also, like, the first 10 alternates should also go because, hey, it's 9 a.m. and a delegate didn't show up and you're the highest ranked alternate, you're a delegate now. At least until they show up, kind of thing. And we're pretty good at like doing that. And then, so if you're a random person, show up to state convention if you can, show up to national if you can, and show up for the vote for CENTCOM. That one's going to be the fun one because we need to find enough people to fill CENTCOM, and I need to ask for advice on who exactly to. What districts should we make sure to have enough people running in to remove incumbents?
I have someone who wants to run for 14, which is completely vacant.
We would love to have them. Is it?
I put them in contact with Derek Taft.
Okay. You weren't happening to look at the new districts, were you? Is it still 14?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a cluster because we were supposed to have redistricting happening a year ago, and the Ohio State Congress has now pushed it off for a whole year.
Well, I talked to this person I think a week ago, and then that's when we looked at the seats that were open on the LPO website.
Yeah, so the only thing worth that I want to keep in mind is this the new one? I don't even know. That one's under the Supreme Court. That one. So there used to be one, but this is the old one, and now they're switching to I think this is the tentative one, but it's not set in stone yet. So that when you look at the districts on the website, they're going to shift a bit.
Okay.
So maybe seat 14 was open, but now they're in 11 or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pain, but we're stuck to the whims of the state as long as central committee exists, which is why my long-term plan is to abolish the central committee of the state. And if your county has a central committee, abolish that too. We're gonna do that in Franklin. Just haven't done it yet.
Hell yeah.
They're not useful. Okay.
Yeah, you don't do very much in it.
Well, they fight and they cause problems.
Yeah.
And we're going to be making a list of who to run people against to make sure they're not in the state central committee again. Okay, but big outline done. Next is we're going to do national first because national is more important, frankly, than the state. So I'm going to share my screen again. I should just keep sharing it because I keep going back to it. So who all's registered for the national convention? So let's see. I just want to pull up time and dates. So the national convention is happening in Reno, Nevada, and it is going to be Memorial. Was that Memorial Day? Was that what, May 3rd? Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. If you're going to go, you would want to be there from the 26th through the 29th because business starts first thing in the morning. I should say the 26th through the 30th because business starts first thing in the morning on the 27th, and it is known to run very late on the night of the 29th. Any questions so far? Okay, seeing none. You in terms of rooming, there is still open hotels in the block for the conference. Let's see. And it's fairly affordable, not crazy. We are also planning on sharing rooms, bunking. The Mises Caucus also will cover cost if there's someone who really wants to go and is not able to afford it. And for all of the people listening into this recording later, this is normal. Every caucus has always done this. Gary Johnson did this back in 2016. I remember all the people he paid for showing up when I was in Austin Peterson's group. This happens. It happens every time. It's not weird. We're not bussing in whatever conspiracy coke thing you're talking about. Ooh, question. If also you have questions, I'm not going to notice hands up. Just shout them out.
Okay. Drake, just a little bit ago, I was talking with people. We're technically a PAC, right? And this keeps coming up. They're not a caucus. They're not a caucus. How you know what I mean?
So,
because you just said that's normal for a caucus, but since we're not a caucus and they want to sling as much mud as they can.
So what a caucus is technically in the Libertarian Party is I want to be a group. That's it. The joke is if you have two libertarians, they're a caucus. There used to be thousands of them on Facebook, literally like hundreds or thousands of them of just every random Gator Caucus, Pizza Caucus, Waffle House Caucus, Beard Caucus, Furry Caucus, every caucus.
Don't forget about Derek Caucus.
The Derek Caucus, the Caucus Caucus, Robert's Rules of Order Caucus, the Jewish Caucus. And then among this many random tiny things, there are a few big effective caucuses that came out that are like, hey, we are here, we are serious, we want to make change and have action. So that would be the Pragmatic Caucus, the Outright Caucus, the Radical Caucus, now the Mises Caucus.
But does that limit us to what we can do? Somebody mentioned to me earlier for my local campaign that donations from PACs are limited in what they can do. They can't donate directly or something like this.
So I'm going to get there. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm going to take my time wandering. I like to wander. You know this. So, but there are these groups that are actually more official caucuses, like Outright, the Prag Caucus or something. But here's the thing. A caucus is nothing officially legally. They couldn't take money or donate money to campaigns or like do big official stuff. If anything, it's like an individual member would do it and maybe people would donate to them and like funnel it through that way, but they weren't like an official legal organization for the purpose of activism or donating. And that's the reason that a PAC was made for the Mises Caucus, is because if you are going to organize money in a political situation, you need to make a PAC. Like that's what they are. They're political action committees, as in we are a committee and group of people and we want to do political action and we want it to be legal when we donate money. So form a political action committee. That's all the PAC is. Some of the states have the Mises Caucus is set up like even like a state level PAC. Most of them they haven't. In a couple of states, the Libertarian Party is itself a PAC. It's just a label that says legally we can receive and donate money to political causes. That's all a PAC means. And what normally happens is, let's say Gary Johnson is running, the Pragmatic Caucus wouldn't raise and spend money on his campaign, but because Gary Johnson is the Prag's favored candidate and his race has a PAC set up, because if you're running a candidate, you set up a PAC for that, they would donate money into his race and his race would spend it. And essentially for that year, the Gary Johnson campaign fund was the Pragmatic Caucus's money vehicle. But the thing is, candidates leave. So you want to have a vehicle with continuity. So normally PACs weren't set up just because PACs are effective and professional, but also a lot of work. You need like a real secretary and stuff to do shit. So instead, people would just like latch on to the PACs already set up by candidates and just use those. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think part of the key answer that I'd be interested in as well was really that when people try to differentiate and say, well, Mises Caucus isn't really a caucus, it's a PAC. Well, the simple answer is yes, it's both, right?
Yeah. It's just like if 5 of us worked at a software company, we're all libertarians, we could form a PAC. We're also a company. Like they're not related. Like, right, there's separate layers of existence that happen to be related. Just like I was working in y'all for a while, and they had a 501c3 and a 501c4, and a 501c3 can't endorse political causes, and a 501c4 can. So technically, everyone was part of both, but you had some behavior that was this and some behavior that was that. So, if that makes sense, yeah, it's a whole weird thing. I am going to tangent back to the Libertarian National Convention if you're all good. So if you signed up to become a Libertarian National Convention delegate and you are a member in good standing, you now have a spot. Congrats. The list is so small that if you signed up before this point, you have a spot. If you haven't gotten an email, that means you signed up wrong, or spam me your email and let me know and reach out to Helen and get that fixed. But if you want to go, you have a spot at least as like a highly ranked alternate. And we have so many delegates that are alternates to definitely be able to do stuff. You are going to want to register for the LNC. And I need to confirm this, but I believe that business tickets for the national convention are free. And I asked Angela about this. So I'm going to check my messages. Mentions. Okay.
Just something
Yeah.
to maybe throw in. There's a thing. Isn't there a day where you can take a bunch of different classes and stuff?
Yeah.
Like how political, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so Thursday is the training day. So like Thursday, you don't have to show up for, but I'm showing up on Wednesday, and a bunch of other people are too. So if you just want to have fun, like there is a lot of fun things that happen at the convention. As weird as that sounds. So if you are registering, for most people, I would recommend the basic. It is not required. You can register as a business only ticket for $0. But you will not go into any of the breakout rooms, any of the trainings. You won't even get a name tag. You won't get jack shit. You can actually bring your name tag from the state one if you don't get one from this. But that's what I got. That's what most people got. If you want to see, I think like this Tom Woods has a breakfast speech. If you want to see that, get the bronze. If you want to do more, if you like galas, whatever, get the super mega platinum. Ooh, I didn't actually know it was Scott Horn speaking at that lunch. I've not been to one of the galas yet. If someone has, they can tell you more about it. But yeah, but you can just go through and hit a none, and I already have membership, blah, 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 check out, review registration. Also,
Hey, Drake, the Thursday thing, that extra training.
Yep.
Where's the information about that?
And
if like I wanted to do that last minute, because I don't know exactly when I'm going to be able to get there.
Yeah. So there is a schedule on the website.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. And there is a plan to make like a Mises Caucus specific schedule, as in like hey, we're going to make a schedule that clarifies what exactly you need to know. as in this 9 a.m. is absolutely vital, and you should be there at 8:30 or 8, probably 8, because this one is the big one. Or like some things are not important, or some things are more like, or like, hey, these are all extra, you don't have to show up, kind of things, you know. So there is a plan for, there's some schedule with that, but otherwise you just go, it is on there, hotel reservations on there. So as I said earlier, if you are planning on going and you've been with us and we know you and you're not like a total rando and good person, all that, and you want to go, but the thing holding you back is that money, we don't have enough money. And the Mises Caucus does have a lot of donors that are donating specifically to get people to the convention. The only thing that's covered is room. So they won't cover flight, but they'll cover room. It's just because that's easier to track and easier to take care of. And it's also like a more effective use of money, because if they're paying for your room, there will be 4 people in that room, whether or not you know them. Which is just kind of how it is. Any question about that so far? And if you guys want the link to that, hey, Carl, would you mind finding the link to the room thing and putting it in the Discord? That's probably the easiest way to do this, so I don't get more distracted.
Sure thing.
Yeah, if I'm looking for a 4-adult room.
So just the hotel link?
No, the Mises Caucus form for like applying for what's it called? Monetary assistance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is the price for 4 nights. It's not terrible. There were other.
I put in the coupon code and I saw a totally different rate a few days ago.
What?
Like it was like 224 a night or something.
Yes, that is the wrong rate. This is the correct rate. You should not pay more than this.
Okay.
If they charge you that, get a refund and rebook.
I hadn't booked it yet. I was looking.
Yep. Also, I have a 4-person room and I have no other people in it yet. And if someone is willing to split with me, I'm happy for that. Or if you're like, I don't have the money to split, but I'm going to show up and just crash, I am happy with that. And I'm going to be looking for anyone that wants to join. I promised someone a room in an email. I don't remember who. It might have been one of the Marks.
Can I give,
so many repetitive names in this caucus.
Can I give my endorsement of why people should go?
Ooh, sorry, say it again.
I just wanted to give my endorsement of why I think people should go.
Oh yeah, go for it.
The LPPA convention, and this, I mean, I can imagine, Drake, you can probably give me your prediction. This is looking like it's probably shaping up to be what happened at the LPPA on a national scale, which was just a literal, in every sense of the word, watching a visual changing of the guard. And it is a very intense, like, things got a little crazy in PA, and I don't really want that to happen anywhere. But even if that little, you know, whatever happened, even if that hadn't happened, it was still incredibly intense. Every single elected official on the committee, well, didn't all hold up their middle fingers, but they all pretty much walked out to either applause or boos, depending on who had the last word. But like, it was a very wild experience, and it probably won't get as crazy at the national level, but you might see some really interesting stuff. I would definitely go if you can.
Yeah, no, it is a really good experience. I've been in the past. Like, it is actually fun. You get to hang out with these people. It's everyone around you has heard all the same podcasts and also thinks this shit's crazy. And there is a lot of like good speakers. If there's any celebrity you never wanted to meet or get a book signed by, they'll be there. I know there's some talk about getting like different media people to show up. So there's a good chance we'll have like Tim Pool there. or Dave Rubin or some other like media people just to watch what happens and stuff. It is going to be a literal party, and the Povertarian Pizza Party means that there will be at least one free place to drink. I think that'll happen. Not 100% sure, but yeah, no, it's a good time. If someone wants to apply for the room assistance, just give a holler on Discord. Make sure you get the link. Otherwise, if someone wants a room with me, just give a holler, and whoever I already promised a room to, but 2 other people as well.
I just put it in the Discord for anyone who wants it.
Perfect. And then someone was asking me about airfare. So if you guys have not used it, my family does a lot of travel. You should search, that's weird. You generally, when you're searching for flights, you should search for 2 things. You should search, one, on Google, because Google actually does a pretty good job of aggregating flights, as much as I normally don't use them. But let's see. Flights. I know this is the most exciting part of everyone's day. When is that? It is, let's say, Thursday through Monday. And they do a pretty good job of aggregating flights. And it's like, damn, that's expensive. And then the second thing you check is you check Cheapo Air. And that actually is the wrong site. Where is cheapoair.com?
I think you just passed it, Drake. It was a little bit lower on the list.
Yeah, I should just go directly there. Don't know what's happening. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sign me into things, don't you? Reno, Nevada. So this will check Southwest and all the budget sites. So that's Frontier, that's Spirit. It will try to upsell you again and again. Just ignore all those. It will also try to say, here's how you save money through alternate dates. Ignore those. And I guess prices have actually just gone up a lot on this, unfortunately.
Yeah, I checked this last night when you sent it to me. And most of the ones on here were actually even higher than the airline sites, because it's looking like no matter what, because I could fly out of Cleveland or Pittsburgh. Once you factor in like carry on and or check in a bag, I'm going to be over $1,000 round trip regardless.
It should, at least like an American or something, they have like built in, they have bags included and stuff. But yeah, you know what? Oil prices. So I guess book soon, but yeah, no, that is way more than it used to be. I'm trying to, what did I pay for mine? So I think, is that mine from United? Is that Denver? No, okay.
Yeah, I
not
think you
sure what my
remember-
ticket was, but mine was not anywhere near that much.
Yeah, I think I remember you showed what you had. I think it was
Yeah,
about
I paid
450.
for 30.
Yeah, I would jump on that in a heartbeat. It's just like everything I've been checking. It's like 820 best flight without switching a day, and that's probably not including any of your check-ins or carry-on fees and all that other bullshit too.
Yeah. No, then all the ones in Google normally will have your bags included, or at least like a carry-on and a personal item. And honestly, the carry-on and personal, that's enough. You don't need you normally don't need a big check bag. It was for most airlines, if they allow for a carry-on, that's actually pretty big, and then you just get like a smaller personal item and essentially have 2 backpacks, and that's enough clothing for 4 days. But yeah, that really sucks. So sorry. I don't believe that the Mises Caucus funds support for flight stuff, but I can double check. I'm pretty confident they don't. Any questions about that part of it other than I don't want to rant about the Ukraine.
If you fly out on the 24th, the tickets drop to about 172 for a one way. And I'm considering doing that and then getting a shit. All right, I cut out there, yeah.
Yeah, your audio is cutting out pretty bad. But you said if you drop back to the 24th, that it makes them a lot cheaper, I think.
Yes, and then I was going to get the room rate we get at the hotel for like an extra day or whatever.
Yeah. No, that makes sense, especially if we were splitting the room with 4 people, and then that compared to the flight is a lot cheaper. So yeah. Oh, lovely. Yeah, this is the normal price to Reno, but oh, yep, there we go. Hey, I wonder what happened 7 days ago. Lovely. Oh yeah. Yeah. Looks like a little bit ago, all the prices went up by a bunch. Of course they did. Okay. So that is depressing to hear. And I hope it doesn't affect too many people. I mean, and if airfare does stop you from going, but otherwise you could or would send something into Discord, we may be able to work something out. Not sure. Well, like if you're worried about the money stuff, at least talk to us before you say, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm Jen. I just logged in late. Sorry, guys.
Yep. All good.
As far as flying, ticket prices are kind of crazy. So if you book way in advance, the ticket prices tend to be really cheap. But if you start booking your tickets like 3 or 4 weeks before you fly, your prices are probably going to be a little bit more reasonable. That's what I've kind of found personally through my Delta app. So, I mean, all hope isn't lost. Maybe those prices will go down again. I just think you guys, it's over a holiday weekend. That's another thing. So,
Yeah.
But maybe those prices will go down. We'll hope.
Normally I'd say yes, but I think
Yeah.
so. Normally I would agree, except right now, I think that it is very political that it's going up. Just cost of oil and all that stuff. So I don't know if it'll go back down. So if you wait, it may just climb.
It may.
Yeah. Everything's
now,
weird.
I mean,
it's a shot in the dark.
I would be booking rental cars. Like if you guys are even thinking about going and you guys are going to need a rental car, I'd just go ahead and get on that right away.
You should not need a rental car. At least when I looked at it last, it was it was right next door.
Okay, got you.
Here, casino. Yeah, it was like you'll get an Uber the first day and then not need one until the final day. Directions from
That's what, depending on when you fly out, when you arrive to the airport, there should be a shuttle from the airport to the casino. But if you get there too early, then you're a bit out of luck and you have to do an Uber. But I don't know. That's what I'm doing, getting there.
Yeah, but you're probably gonna be good once you're there, and some other people are gonna have rental cars. So if you really need one, ask around and it'll probably work out. Or if you really like to have one, you can be the guy that has one. I was debating a little bit if I want to get like a 15 passenger, like if it was a far drive, I would like maybe get a 15 passenger and like do the shuttle thing, but it's not. And then Uber's easier. Any other questions about Reno other than screaming about why ticket prices are now double what they were? But if you can afford it, would recommend the basic or a higher package, just because like there is good stuff that you get for it. If you can't, you can register for free. That's most of it for national. Any other questions about national? Anything at all? Fire away.
I did email Helen back because she emailed me and said that I was selected as a delegate. And
Yep.
I just said that I would absolutely love to go, but you know, I can't pull those numbers, so I can't justify that cost.
Gotcha.
I don't know that I've heard back from her, so.
Yeah, she's busy. I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's not gonna respond back. She's been dealing with all of that stuff too. But I'd say definitely like post something to ask me again in the Discord, and I'll give a holler to. I don't, because the policy was cover rooms, not flights. But with how
Mhm.
much flights have gone up, and with Ohio, it was kind of didn't have an earlier chance to buy tickets. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the email it said not to make any room, like don't get a room or anything until after convention. Like our
No, you
convention.
so you if you are a non-random member, so if you are on this any state committee or a county committee or a delegate or a candidate or anything, you are guaranteed a spot. If you are a random member, you are essentially guaranteed a spot, because there's only like 58 people total applying for spots with 38 available. Then like 10-15 people are just going to like not be able to make it because of money and time, whatever. And also the first like 5-10 alternates should also go. Like if you applied, you can make it. If someone in if your county has not applied yet, push them to apply. I think there's still a good chance they could make it. Yeah, because that's like, okay.
I'm sorry, I missed that. If the county hasn't applied to what?
So if someone is now thinking of going to the national convention and is like, oh no, I didn't submit my interest form too late and I can't become a delegate, you can still become a delegate. We have had so few people apply that they will get a spot, or they will at least be like a top 5, top 10 alternate, especially with costs right now making less people less likely to go.
So Jen, you're in Warren County. What is there something we'd be able to do to help her if she decides she wanted to go?
So rooming, yes. Flights, don't know yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's
so that's applying for the Mises assistance to it.
Yes.
That you're talking about, not applying.
It's either applying for the Mises.
I only heard part of that. Okay.
Yeah, it's either applying for the Mises assistance or, hey, my room has an open bed. There's going to be a bit of both.
So my rule of thumb is I don't fly anywhere. I drive because I travel with my bike. And so I always find like a 50-mile route while I'm out anywhere. So I just take my bike and ride. And I didn't know anything about this. I think somebody said something about the national convention 2 or 3 times, but I'm one of those people, I've always got like 4 things going on. So if I have time in my calendar, I have no problem going whatsoever.
Yeah, I looked into driving out actually at one point. I realized it'd be about a week of your free time to drive there and back, round trip, about 3 days in each direction, 3 10-hour days on the road.
Yeah, that's nuts. 2,200 miles for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't even think about it. Well,
Well, here's what to look at is the Megabus or one of those Greyhounds. Just get one of those and just for a week, just sit on one of their chairs.
Oh my God.
I
That
actually looked
sounds-
up Amtrak and the quickest it would get there would be 55 hours from when you start.
I don't want to read about trains. I hate the train system in the US so much. Well, but yeah, no, so Trump plus Biden plus the Ukraine has made flights way more expensive, unfortunately. But yeah, driving is a little bit out of the realm of possibility for most for this, unless you really, really like driving.
True.
Maybe, I mean, you can always double check that there might be some alternate airport nearby that's a lot cheaper, but I think that the Reno, Nevada one's probably your best bet, unfortunately. Any other questions for the national convention?
No.
Okay, sweet. Then moving on to the Ohio convention. So the Ohio convention, I wish that I could show the webpage for it, but because of website issues, the people, ever since we got the information to make the tickets, we have been unable to actually add the event to the website, which is just as fun as it sounds. It will be April 29th through Sunday, the 1st of May. Minimum ticket cost is going to be $150. That is for the cheapest. I want to just be a delegate and vote ticket. I've heard rumors of people in the past being able to sneak in kind of without a ticket, or like, I don't know how to say this, showing up and just doing business and no one asked for tickets has happened before, but I don't know. But yeah, so it's a whole cluster where there was a hotel picked that was way more expensive than people expected, and Carl is going to be on a crusade next time to make us go to an event center or something else that's way cheaper, because this is ridiculous that it's $150 minimum, and if we don't have at least like 60 people buy tickets, we're going to be in the red.
Love it.
Yeah, it's exactly as much fun as it sounds like. So Friday night is a dinner. Saturday,
Drake,
all day.
there's nothing else Friday besides the dinner, correct?
Is anyone here on the convention planning committee? I think.
Yeah.
Did Carl leave?
It's just the dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner with Clint Russell from Liberty Lockdown.
Yep.
Oh, cool. All right.
So Friday's dinner. Saturday is business all day. With a couple like other speeches thrown in. We'll have a table for the Mises Caucus, some other like random nonsense happening. Usually it's a fun day, but also long and tiring. There will be a cash bar. They got yelled at us for bringing too much free alcohol last time from the Franklin County / Mises Caucus. And then Sunday is more not as much business, but kind of anyone who is running for the LNC can get up and speak. It's kind of like that. That's mostly what Sunday is going to be. Any questions about it? It is located in Granville, I think. No.
Newark. It's up
Newark.
to Cherry Valley Lodge.
Okay.
Right in my back.
Oop. Is that my internet or his?
I think it's Caleb's.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So yeah, it is out here in Newark. I think that the rate for the hotel actually looked like it was gonna be pretty good for like the rooms. we were looking a little bit at getting a big Airbnb to share, but then no one was interested, so it didn't happen.
That is
There
tough.
are some other hotels in that area that should be cheaper, a decent amount cheaper than Cherry Valley, and only like a 10-minute drive.
Okay. But yeah, so the so the hard thing for me to say a little bit is it's not gonna be that important state convention. Like honestly, like we're not, there'll be bylaw changes, constitution changes, and they're gonna matter. There's nothing really earth shattering. We're not voting for the XCOM, we're not voting for delegates, we're not doing any of that stuff. So I would encourage people to come out, but if you are gonna be budgeting money, I would rather have it go towards national than state.
Hey, is Coyle a delegate for Ohio?
Brianna,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you mean a delegate to national?
Yeah.
If she wants it, she has the spot. I don't know if she wants it.
Okay.
Let's hope
Just
not.
curious.
That's why it's going to be curious to see how many people who are already delegates and are very anti-Mises, why they just don't show up.
Yeah, all especially with ticket prices and things. But no, my guess would be Mises is gonna be, well, previously I would have said 10 to 30 of the crowd, but honestly, not really sure. Out of 38, because it's a really big range. I have no idea. At this point with the ticket prices, I'm like, less people in the show. I was trying to warn people a bit in advance that, like, if you are any official position within the party, you were guaranteed a spot, so like get stuff early. But for the people that weren't at the time, it was kind of, now you're stuck.
So you're saying of the two, our presence is going to be much more needed at national than at state?
Yes. Yep. Because the state convention doesn't not matter, but it matters a lot less. And it's like,
Well,
I wish that it was, I wish that the state was so affordable, it didn't matter. And we could just have people show up in mass and have a great time and everything. But $150 is a lot for a convention. Like, I'm a nerd. I go to anime conventions or stuff. And an expensive one is like $70-$80 for a weekend. I paid.
it's
paid
probably a
10.
whole lot more fun.
It is a lot more fun.
That's
Hey,
gotta be more fun. That blows my mind. That's awesome. I have zero interest in like going to an anime or a Comic-Con, or I'm not into that. But like the fact that price is so good, now I'm kind of interested.
Well, you guys are up near Bowling Green, right?
And Bowling Green's more central Ohio.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Northern central. Yeah.
I was gonna say, because Bowling Green, some colleges host some and they get super cheap ones because like the college kind of provides the venue. So they're like $10 for that one.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I enjoy going to raves and stuff, so I do that. But no, we had a fun time last time, especially the first night where there was lots of alcohol and karaoke, and some people got wasted. No, it was a party at the conference. And that's the other weird thing, is that next year, so this was the convention, and next year is the conference, and the conference is pure fundraising, no business. Yeah, we move slowly in Ohio.
It's gonna be interesting no matter what, I guess.
So why did we get in trouble for the alcohol?
Oh, it wasn't a big deal of trouble. It was just that apparently the way it works with a cash bar is you actually pay the hotel a bit for them to have the cash bar show up. And the party paid for the cash bar, and then there was free alcohol, so no one got their alcohol.
Okay.
Carl, can you explain like why are they, I think the cash bar might actually be a requirement from the hotels and like, hey, if you get the cash bar, you'll get like a discounted rate or something. Is that what it is? Like, why do they do the cash bar? Doesn't make any sense to me, Carl.
So Friday we're going to be doing wine at the table.
Yep,
just so that is the alcohol given to the people. So
that's standard.
And then Saturday, it was literally to save money. just how expensive the entire convention is going to be. When I tell you how much money it's costing to put
off the recording. we'll talk later. But yeah, but like my guess is there probably is like a drink minimum. But yeah.
Yeah, there's a big drink minimum. Yeah.
So it's usually the way it works with a cash bar. Yep.
Yeah, but conventions. Okay, I'm gonna give my rant here. One of my obligatory rants of the night. If you're working with like a Rotary group or something where there's a lot of more money to throw around and kind of the main aspect of what you're doing is the social. Like if this is a real fundraising event or something formal or fancy, it can make sense to stay at a nicer hotel. It is a bit nicer. But especially if we're doing something that's business, you shouldn't be paying for wine at the table to have a business vote. And if you go to like, I don't know, let's say High Banks Metro Park, they have an all day and night, very nice venue, 200 people, air conditioned, indoor electricity, everything. This is a nice place. And it's, I don't know, $200 a day. Bring your own food. Why can't we just do that? Oh my God.
Off the recording. I'll get my rant.
Yeah. Yep. So we will have a number of people in the convention planning committee next time, and anyone who is feeling the pain in their wallet this time, I am planning on putting you all in the committee next time.
I've got things ready already for next year because I don't know.
There's a lot of cheaper options, but hey, that's life. Life happens. We are slowly scaling up to helping out with stuff in Ohio. I don't think it's anyone malicious. I don't think anyone's doing bad stuff. It's just like this is what we've always done. And it looked like this new hotel may be cheaper. And then it wasn't, but you kind of like, they took so long to get back with quotes that kind of they're already locked into it because they were responding so slowly and that kind of stuff. So I think it was like the venue price looked really cheap, but then they wouldn't allow outside catering and the cost per plate was crazy, something like that. But
that's correct.
Yep. That's life. Keep on rolling.
They get your attention with what's looks like a low rate, and then once you look at all the other charges, you're through the roof, right?
Yeah, well, it's not even that, but it's like it took them 3 months of like pestering, like, hey, what's the rate on the food? What's the rate on the food? And them not getting back. And then it's like, well, it's too late now to pick anywhere else. And you already put a deposit down.
Could be on purpose too, that they would slow roll you on that.
Yeah. Well, especially after COVID, everyone got weird, but hey, any other questions about the state convention upcoming? If you can make it, please do. If you can't, that's life.
No question on that, but Mark and I have an announcement before we jump off business, so just let me know.
Sure. Would you like it to be on the recording or off the recording?
It doesn't matter.
Get on the recording. Yeah.
Yeah, we have Michael Hiles coming to Lebanon at our next Warren County Business and Social. He's a crypto expert. Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, so looked into him, and he's involved with this company 10XTS. He's been kind of a big roller in the Columbus area, well known. He talks on to like government committees, and he gives like national level talks on the topic. The guy's kind of a big deal, and part of what he's working on is some stuff that's like blockchain based governance and that sort of thing. And how you ensure that your say you're doing DeFi and you want to make sure that your stuff is going to be regulatory compliant, they're actually building automated systems to help do that, which may
Nice.
actually allow people to still do decentralized finance that might otherwise get killed off by government regulations, especially with as Biden pushes to get more and more government involvement and oversight. But at the same time, reading up on the blog and things like that he's written, he is quite liberty minded, and it would probably be good to have him come and give a basic talk on this. He has signed up, has said he would come. I was actually hoping we could kind of sort out what the topic would be a little bit, but I haven't heard yet. But it has to be geared more toward the lowest common denominator, because not everybody showing up there is going to be well versed in crypto, right?
You can have a medium level talk and have some people just a little bit lost. That's not the end of the world.
There are worse things, right? But part of the idea is get people in, and we may just have a big meeting. If it turns out that we get a lot of response on it, we might have to look at venues, because the back room at Docks might not work for that. But we'll see.
But that's the point, right, Mark? Is that we're trying to make everybody aware of this, because it's kind of cool. So people want to come, please come.
Yeah, we've got some ideas being played with, like could you make some sort of a crypto sanctuary type of thing, or at the either local or state level, a little bit of nullification, if you will. So
that is actually part of. I apologize, Mark. That is one of the things I'm wanting to do for my local city council race. Is I want to make Lebanon a sanctuary city for crypto, similar to what was her name, Mark? What was the woman in Wyoming?
Oh, that was Caitlin Long in Wyoming.
Caitlin Long, that's right. Well, she's done a similar thing. Yeah, she's done a similar thing at the state level. Wyoming's a tax haven as it is anyway, like Delaware or whatever. But yeah, I would like to work out a deal with maybe Lebanon Citizens National Bank, who has a corporate right here in downtown Lebanon, and then Phil's buddy that runs Commercium. Is that right, Mark? What was the name of that company he gave us the other night? Yeah, yes, he knows that guy, and he is from Lebanon, but he actually made his company in Wyoming for the tax haven purpose. Anyway, I'm hoping to bring all this together, and I'm hoping Michael Hiles might actually either get involved or be able to help us out.
Yeah, Wyoming has passed a lot of legislation, to be clear, more than just a tax haven, but it actually legalizes a lot of things when it comes to crypto, very specifically at the state level. There is some degree of nullification built into what's happening in Wyoming. I think the most crypto-friendly state in the country. So,
and if you get any sample legislation written, share it around. We're happy to have it. Caleb, could you reach out and do you have a running document for other groups in Ohio that we work with?
Not a running group, but I can add that to it.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be awesome, because right now I'm having a bit of trouble getting some of my people on my campaign on board with this idea, but I think it's actually really great, and I do want to make some legislation on this. So if you have something that you can help out with, add with, or whatever, man, that would be great.
Okay, so you do not have legislation already yourself? Okay.
No, nothing written.
Ask about it in the Discord, because I don't remember things that are written down. Also, 10th Center may have something. If you can find the actual bill as written in Wyoming, that's great. Save you a lot
There's
of
a
time.
couple bills floating out at the state level, like in Arizona, to make like crypto or Bitcoin legal tender.
Yeah.
There is a full node developer in Dublin on the northwest side of Columbus. This guy, Josh Green, I've never met him. He was working with the local city government to do blockchain based stuff, maybe for like tourism or conventions. I don't know much about it, but if we ever wanted to do like crypto stuff at the local in Columbus, I could try to get a hold of him somehow.
Yeah, no, there's a few other like groups, then it's always just a question of keeping track of them, which put all of it in Caleb's shoulders. Because actually, did I send you the information yet for the medical marijuana meetup in Columbus that has like 70 members? There's a big one in Columbus that apparently is just like works with all the local marijuana businesses and like a few other things like that around that.
I think
That was
you put it on Discord or somewhere. I saw you put it up there somewhere.
somewhere. And then we could always try to bring them into the state convention also. I don't know if they need more speakers still or just like say, hey, get a booth. We'll see you there. Actually, yeah, if you want to get the cheap way into the Ohio conference, just buy a table, but not like a pass. Or I'll let you guys man my table. And you can just accidentally walk into the meetings when you're bored. How does that sound? I have air mattresses. You can just crash at my place. So I think that's all. Yeah, this is a lot tonight to go over. Only final thing is I have not written the central committee survey to find candidates yet. I will soon and send it out. If you are at all vaguely interested, it is a fairly low commitment role. This is 3 meetings a year. But this is also the group that can rewrite the bylaws if you have problems with the bylaws, which there are lots of problems with the bylaws. So it's a really important role, but it's also a fairly low commitment role. The problem is that it's spread out geographically. So you need 2 people from each region. We also are going to be really hard pushing to find people in various regions. So like if you can just ask around to anyone you know that'll want to run, especially if you are here, what region is it? If you are, we need to cross-reference some charts. Okay. So this was controlling committee. District 16 was there. It is now District 7 or 13. Especially if you're in 7 or 13, we're really gonna want you to run. And I need to get a full list from some people that have been around longer of who it would make more sense to run people against, because there are some people on that short list. Yeah. I think that's it. Any other questions, stuff to know besides this massive info dump about all the convention stuff? Which I wish if Ohio wasn't that complicated, we could have just done this once. They've had to do it like 4 meetings now because it's just so weird.
Is there going to be any information provided letting us know what's happening with, who's running for CENTCOM and that kind of thing? So that, because that's the election coming up, right?
Yes.
And letting us know who's running and who the Mises Caucus folks are, that
Yep.
sort of thing.
Yep. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'll be sending out a survey. They're just saying, hey, are you interested in running? And do a phone, like last time I think I had some vetting questions on the survey, then a 15-minute phone call before like being comfortable giving a endorsement, because you don't want to bring someone in who makes the committee worse. So this is already a shit show. And we'll send out a list of like, hey, these are the people we'd recommend our endorsement. And then I think when you actually show up to the poll, you'll be told who you can vote for, like who's on the list. And
Drake,
honestly,
that's May 3rd.
So in Franklin County, it will be May 3rd.
So it matches the national primary.
I don't know. Does it?
No, I think that's the Ohio primary.
If it is, that's news to me.
Okay, but that's an internal, this is an internal election?
Yes, this is
Okay.
a purely put on, like, if you're in district, I don't know, 10 or district 1, you may actually have it in Doc's place. Someone just sits there and waits for a few, like for 6 hours, to see if anyone shows up. And it's not gonna be the same day everywhere, because I think that Trisha has to be at all of them or most of them. So it's gonna be kind of dependent on her schedule. And so she's working things out with people of like, with the current members of the committee of like, who will be where when for like for how long. Yeah. It's a massive cluster. And I just want to abolish it, the central committee. It's not worth the time. It brings in no value and it makes things worse. But I was too lazy to rewrite all 200 sections of the bylaws where it appears by myself, so it didn't happen. So I think that's it for the night. Obligatory Ukraine rant is Russia's doing bad things, but I care more about the country that I actually have control over. So if you don't care that the genocide in Yemen just had the death count estimate up to 1 million civilians dead so far from the US war, if you're not talking about that, but you're talking about the Ukraine, I don't have much time for you. I don't know. It sucks, but I hope there's as little civilian death as possible, and that the conscripted slaves also are not, or bear as little injury and death as possible. But
I
hey,
actually heard, oh, sorry.
that's the world, and I'm going to end the recording. We can talk about all the fun stuff. Peace.